Hello, and welcome to another episode of What Would Helen Say, where therapy time is anytime. In this week's episode, Band Aids aren't enough. I dive a little bit deeper into the atone, attune, attach, and discover that my couple doesn't really need the attune and attach pieces. They seem pretty connected with each other. What they really need help with is atoning. Neither one of them has fully understood what prompted the behavior of their partner, and therefore, without having a level of understanding, have never 100% forgiven each other. That's just the beginning of the session. The majority of the section is actually focused on their finances and their attitudes and beliefs in regards to finances. Here's where we discover that the pacifying of a partner doesn't really fix the issues, and that some deeper work and adjustment is really necessary. Once again, thank you for tuning in. If you like my work and you would like to support me, or if you are interested in gaining premium access to upcoming sessions, along with detailed notes of the interventions that are used and how you can apply them to your own life, please click on the link below for more information. Thank you. Okay. Um, so wanted to ask you if you wanted to wrap up things with the discussion about finances, or if you wanted to start off by going into the first part of atone, attune, attach to help repair the damage.
You want to still discuss finances?
No, that was your thing.
It wasn't my thing. It's a thing.
I'm saying no. You brought it up, so that was your thing.
It's her concern, but it's an issue for the partner.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's still an
Oh,
issue.
I don't think it's anymore. How about you?
Yes, I do want to know what's your plan. Like I don't
What's my plan with what? What? Stop.
to stop being everybody's godfather
All right.
or minimize your godfatherism or something. Like I don't know if that's the thing, but yeah.
Actions speak louder than words.
Yes, but you also need a plan to ensure that the actions or the desired
Oh,
actions
my
take
plan.
place.
To stop doing it, just to be there for my family only. Well, my house,
No,
my
you said it
household,
right. Your family.
my household,
Yes.
my family. Yeah.
Okay. My concern is this: what you have been doing is rooted in certain beliefs and values that you have, whether it's about yourself, whether it's about your extended family, your role, the way you're needed, whatever it may be. It's rooted in deeper beliefs. And to just say, oh, I'm going to stop this behavior, it doesn't mean that you change those beliefs and you change what you see as your role. And all that really does, it's going to create more tension between the two of you, because she's going to feel like you made a commitment to her to not do something, but then you're going to feel like you're somehow betraying yourself by not doing things that feel important to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's look at this from a slightly different perspective. Are there other ways that you feel like you can fulfill whatever role with your extended family besides just giving them money?
Yeah. I want to say more like just like talking more to them instead of trying to be there money wise. Just more like being there, not as a money, not a, not like supporting his money, but also like talking and guiding them the right way to go get whatever they need.
Okay.
I think
So,
my issue overall is that I don't want it to be a thing where, because like I said, I've seen this and heard this happen throughout that family where if, a guy or whoever pulls back from supporting the family, then they automatically blame it on the spouse.
oh, so then you're going to get the backlash.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, because it's not happening now, they're okay with me. They're okay with coming to me and telling me and stuff like that. But it's like, once he decides to say, okay, that's it, like it ends here, then I'm going to be in the same, I guess like hot seat as the other people that they discuss. And it's just like there are times where he'll be like, no, or he don't want to do whatever they asking him to do, and the next thing I know, they're calling me. Like, oh, well, can you talk to him and why he's saying no and blah blah blah, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
So it's like I get that he wants to set boundaries, but it's like, how can you at the same time when it's just, I don't know, I feel like it's impossible.
So, is it possible to have a discussion with them and to say, hey, we've decided as a couple that, moving forward, this is how we want to operate our household? Like, is that possible?
Um, I would say like I wouldn't mind a conversation like that. I just don't know how to initiate a conversation like that. Like, do we just bring it up or do we wait until, there's another request and then we're like, okay, no, because XYZ.
So, I think it's always better to address situations when they're not a problem.
Okay.
Because once the problem exists, a lot of times people get tunnel vision and they're very, very focused on what they want and how they
Mm-hmm.
want it. And they're not as open to seeing other sides of the situation. So
Okay.
it's probably in your best interest to just say, set up a time. Just say, hey, look, we'd like to set up this time with you guys to sit down and to talk about a few concerns and blah, 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 blah. And hopefully they won't, already be on guard.
Right. Like, I don't mind, I guess, them saying whatever they want about me. I don't want him to feel like awkward. Like, if we all have to be around each other or, I don't know. I just don't want it to be that way.
I understand. And to an extent, you guys can't hold yourselves responsible for how other people feel.
Yeah.
You know, that's on them, how they perceive a situation and therefore how they feel about the situation. And if they need time to work through those feelings and get to a point of being able to accept the new normal, then all you can do is give them time and space.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Cool with
mean,
that.
yeah. Also, right. By her saying that, it's like she is judging off a different situation with a different person, right? It's not always the same thing for other people. So it's like because she heard that with with somebody else, that don't mean that the same thing will happen to her. She just assuming that.
I can understand that. I can also see if that's the only situation, she has to reference. If there were like multiple situations and it only happened to one person, then it would be easier for her to say, okay, there's a possibility that won't happen because it hasn't always happened. But if that's her only point of reference, then I can understand how she's like, ooh, that's what happened before, so it could happen again. So I get both sides. If you have other information that you feel contributed to whatever that situation was in the past, then okay, then it's a matter of if you guys have the conversation, put everything out in the open, and everyone in your family is able to accept it and respect it, and then you guys can move forward and there's no need to worry about it anymore.
All right.
Okay. So the other thing that I was curious about with the finances, because I know before you said that you'll just give all your money to her and let her figure it out. But my concern is this, because I mentioned before, everybody has a relationship with money, and we talked about some of the things that money means to you, a sense of worth, a sense of empowerment. And if you just suddenly give all your money to her, that doesn't automatically change how you view money and what your relationship with money is. And it has the potential to make you feel worse.
Yeah. I was just joking. That's not that. That's not. That's not the plan.
Okay, so did you guys come up with the actual plan?
No.
So it's still in limbo.
Yeah, definitely.
So did you guys come up with any ideas?
Um, not quite. I because I don't really know. I feel like this conversation has come up before, so I don't even know if he's serious this time.
Okay.
Like we've discussed this in the past. We've discussed, how we would be more transparent and things of that nature, and how the funding for other people would stop or be minimized. Like we discussed this plenty of times, and I feel like that's why it's more irritating now because it's like, how many times do I have to bring it up? How many times do we have to talk about it? How many times is this going to keep on happening where you're telling me actions speak louder than words and then you go back and do the same action again and again?
Okay.
And I feel like the risk is getting like bigger and bigger.
Okay. So I always share with people that if you find yourself having the same conversation over and over and over again, it's because the desired change hasn't taken place yet. Um, so it makes me curious about what is the fear behind making those changes, because fear is the number one reason for why people don't change. They're afraid of
Yeah,
something.
right.
So for you, Jay, can you identify what are some of those fears that go on for you, that you make this commitment to her in regards to finances, but then you find yourself going back and doing other things? Like, what is the fear associated with not, giving people money and doing these things for them?
Um, I don't want to say like it's a fear. I want it's more so. It's like I want to say more so being there for people that were there for you at a point. It's like if I know for a fact if I if I need something, if I could go to you, I won't have no problem helping you out.
I think you extend your help too far.
How so?
Well, we just discussed the whole thing with the friend, um, with the phone. That is like really big for me. That's not like, oh, I could spot you $10 or $20. Like that is something that is big. And it's about before I even knew what was going on, you already opened up the conversation. You introduced it as a lie. Then once I found out, I asked about it, and you lied. On top of that, and it's just like for you to just add on more and more on top of yourself. It's like at some point, it's not just a friend falling on hard times. There's obviously something wrong with him that you're too grown. We're too grown. That's just the moral of the story. You cannot sit here and constantly be responsible for another grown man. I'm not saying that you need to be a millionaire and have your life figured out at 30, but at 30, something simple as a phone, if you cannot achieve that on your own, then oh well, you don't need one. And it's a repeated thing because this is not the first time that this has been a run-in with this friend and a phone. So, seeing that I'm seeing at this point, you add in more and more onto your plan, and we've been together what 8 years now. We're not even on the same phone plan. So why would you then go and add on someone else, not tell me, and then lie about it on top of that? So when this person has hard times again and your bill is due, what are you gonna do? You're gonna pay it because you can't have your phone turned off. Because not only is it that you have your mom, you have your two siblings, and now him, all on one plan.
Wow.
So regardless of the fact, if somebody falls short on the bill, you know that you don't want your phone, though, so you're just gonna pay it. And what does that do? That satisfies everybody because they know, like, okay, if I don't pay it, they know how he is when it comes to his phone. He doesn't like to be able to not be reached. You know that he has kids, and that's just him. He's always on top of his phone. That's like his number one thing. So it's like, okay, well, if we don't, then he's gonna do it anyway because he can't live without his phone.
So your perception is other people will take advantage of the fact that
Yeah,
getting the bill paid is important to him, and so he'll pay it even if it puts him
it's
at a
not
disadvantage.
even a fear. I know that because it's happened already. They know like, these are conversations that have already happened.
Okay. So you see him as being taken advantage of.
Definitely taking advantage. And it's like I said, we have a lot going on ourselves as far as it's not just us anymore. It's not just one kid. We have two kids. We're planning a wedding. We have bigger bills. Like, I don't understand what more is it going to take for you to realize, you know, with everything else going on, if something was to happen, who really got us but us?
Right. And then when you see him being overstretched with these other people, then it makes you feel that it's just you that's got us.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. So for you, your biggest concern is more so of making sure that you guys' unit is taken care of first, and that if there's leftovers,
Right,
okay, you can help someone else.
right. And I'm not like, I don't like to wait to the last minute for things. I feel like if we have anything left over, figure out what else is needed across the board first. Figure out to say, like, you know what? I have an extra, what, $1,000. Let me spread it out across. Let me put 100 on this credit card bill. Let me put, this towards a vendor for the wedding, like something like that. And then once you're comfortable with that, then you can say, okay, cool. Because I know exactly what's going to happen is it's going to keep on happening. It's going to be money being spent irresponsibly. And then we're going to wait until the last minute. And it's going to be like, I got to figure it out.
Okay.
And I'm tired of having to figure it out when it should have been figured out from the beginning. And then when I try to do this, his response is like, "Oh, it's not that serious. So you just like, it'll happen. Like, don't worry about that right now." Like, I have to worry about that right now because if I don't, then who will? You won't.
Got you. So for you, you're trying to be proactive so that in the end, you're not left with all this stress to try to
Right.
figure out. Okay, I understand. Okay. So, Jay, where are you at hearing her say all these things? Like, what does all this mean to you?
Um, I get exactly what you're coming from. She didn't say anything wrong. Um,
But
no, it's not a but. She didn't say she didn't say nothing wrong. That's on me to just do better and start and to start really thinking about what's going on.
Okay. So, from your perspective, how is what she's asking you to do different from what you're used to doing?
Um, I think it's just because my mind state be I'm always gonna figure it out rather than have it have it have it figured out already and then have time to do other things rather than wait till the last minute for something or wait to like just do anything at the last second.
So, are you, I'm slightly confused. I need you to help me understand. So, are you saying that you're used to doing things at the last minute?
Yeah, it's like I want to say I want to say I want to say for some reason it's like that always work on best for me. Like I'm always gonna figure it out. So like I got time, but I get what you were saying. Handle everything before the deadline, or don't wait the last minute for something. So I get that. That's just a bad habit on my end.
Okay. So, this is what I'm hearing from her, that waiting to the last minute stresses her out, it frustrates her, and it makes her feel alone in this relationship. So, even though waiting till the last minute has worked out for you, that's what waiting till the last minute is doing to her.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that goes back to the conversation that I had about him waiting to the last minute to do anything, because that happens with everything. It's not just him being late for something, like physically, it's being late with everything. Like it's not just, me saying be ready at 12:30 and he gets ready at 12:25. It's literally like if a bill is due on the 22nd, he's going to do it on the 22nd. Or the 22nd might come and fly and he's like, "Oh wow, I forgot."
Okay. So then there's coping skills that are necessary because we talked before, I don't know how many weeks ago, about the lateness aspect. And if that's part of his personality, like if this is a characteristic, it's part of his personality, it's highly unlikely to change. All you can do is try to set up various different coping skills and other, mechanisms in place to mitigate it, but you can't expect it to 100% go away.
Yeah.
So
No,
then,
I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to start being early on things.
well, even if it's not trying to be the complete opposite of where you are now, it's just really about bridging the gap. Like, let's not try to be overzealous and go from being late to being early.
Right.
Let's just work on being less late for right now.
Right.
And then maybe we can get to on time sometimes.
Right. Like, I don't mind if if we gotta go somewhere. I really don't care about showing up late. That happens. I feel like at this point, it is what it is. But it's just like some things can we at least make an attempt to say, like, let's just get this bill out the way early, or let's do something early. But we don't do that, and it's like I get, he tells me to relax or whatever, but that's why it bothers me so much, because it's like, how can I relax? I feel like once I relax, like the castle just crumbles down.
Right.
So like now I have to be the one that's on top of everything. I have to be the one like losing my mind basically, because if I don't, then nothing gets done.
And when that happens again, it comes back to you feeling alone in the relationship.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And that's what I really want to focus in on is it's not just the pattern of behavior of being late. It's about how then you feel in the relationship of feeling like now you're alone, and if that continues to happen over whatever amount of time, then people generally start to question, well, if I'm always left feeling alone, then why am I in this relationship?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big that's a big dynamic that needs to be mitigated now before
Right.
it grows and gets bigger.
Of course. Yeah. I feel like I say that to him sometimes. And it's like right after I say it, I'm like, damn, like, did I really need to say that? Like, is that really how I'm feeling right now? Or am I just mad and I'm saying that? But it's just like, I feel bad for saying it, but that's how I'm feeling in that moment. But I'm realizing that it's a lot of moments.
Mm, okay. So, what's important to you about this dynamic?
Um, honestly what's important right now. And this, I want to say more so like her own feelings. It's it's like how she feel. I know that she's right and everything. I should do better with the whole timing thing, but it's more so her actual feeling because I told you she go from 0 to 100. So like if it ain't if it ain't going how she wanted to go, she just fly off at the mouth, just out going crazy, and then
Well, I don't want that to be the only reason that you want to make changes because you're trying to pacify her. You know,
Right.
that's
And
not
I
the
say
goal.
that to him too, like, don't do that for me. Like, don't say, basically I tell him, like, don't try to shut me up. Don't try to agree with whatever I'm saying just to brush it off. Like, if it's a problem, we gonna confront it and we gonna deal with it head on. And that's the kind of person that I am, but he's not. So he'll try to just like, oh, quiet down, quiet down. Let's just do this real quick. Like, here you go. And it's just like, no, because then when it happens again, I'm gonna talk about this time and the last time too.
That's typically what happens.
instead of instead of only talking about the time that is happening, she want to go to the past.
Oh, yes.
The past got solved already though.
It never got solved. It got tucked. It got tucked. And I always say, like, why we gotta always sweep it under the rug?
So, this is what I share with people. When issues from the past haven't really been resolved, whenever something comes up that triggers that memory that, oh, yeah, this is still there, it's kind of like somebody flipping through a mental Rolodex. They go, oh, there it is. I found that time.
But I'm
Oh,
saying though, right?
wait.
If the last time it got handled and not swept under the rug, why you gotta bring it up again?
Because it's not handled. So let me put it to you like this. Okay, so say something comes up and it has five parts to it, and you guys talked about it. So you resolve this part, but it comes up again because there's still other pieces to it that are left. Hopefully, the next time you talk about it, you get that one down, but there's still something left. Every time it comes up, it means something is still not resolved. So that means in order to get to the piece that hasn't been resolved, you have to have a different conversation. Because if you continue to have the same conversation, you continue to talk about the same things that, yeah, maybe those are the pieces that were resolved, but you're not talking about the pieces that aren't resolved.
Yeah.
So, in this dynamic, I think this is more of an emotional dynamic than it is a financial dynamic. The finances to me seems like that's the behavior that we can see, that everybody can experience, but we're not getting to the root cause of the emotions that are perpetuating the behavior.
I get it. You get it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That last sounded like I've been got it.
Yeah. Like I hope you get it. Like that's the whole point. I
I'm
want you
getting it.
to
I'm
get it.
getting. I'm getting.
Thank you. That's all I want. That's it.
So, okay. So it's not just about, well, I'll do this time, or hush, 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 be quiet, be quiet. And we talked before about that's the dynamic you're used to from your childhood. That's what would happen to you all the time. It's like, okay, don't feel that way. Don't be that way. Shh, 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 shh. Just
Right.
okay. And while that is what you're used to, that is not what she needs.
Right.
So I want to help you guys find a solution that actually works for both of you, because it sounds like you've been putting band-aids on this, and over time the band-aid falls off or whatever happens, it's not fixing whatever the issue is.
Right. That's why I want to, I guess, like figure it out now so that it's not an issue later on. Because at this point, it's like we are like fully invested into this. So it's just like, I always tell him, like, let me know now. Don't have me 20 years down the line and then you saying that you out because of the issue that happened years ago. No. No, 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 no. We're not doing that.
Who waits? Who waits 20 years to leave?
It happens.
Oh yes, it does.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yes, that really happens. Like, you don't believe it,
I'm not
but
starting over at no 50. So that's how.
people
That is
do.
how. I'm not
There's
doing
a whole
that.
bunch of 60, 70-year-olds getting married, like, now because,
Listen,
that
right?
didn't work out.
Listen. If I wanted to leave, I would have left a long time ago.
Okay, so while you're here, fix it. That's it. That's it. You just gotta
So
fix it.
I mean, I feel like there's deeper conversation to be had about this
Hmm.
dynamic. Um, I still feel like we're scratching some of the surface, and maybe we're going a little bit deeper, but we're not getting all the way into
I
it.
want to. I have been begging for a deep conversation, and every time I say go deeper, he like, but how? I don't think anything's wrong with me. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm fine. I'm like,
And
okay,
I don't want to label it as anything's wrong with you.
right,
When I say deeper conversation, I feel like there's a level of understanding that isn't being conveyed. Like, whatever you're doing makes sense to you. And I don't know if you've even questioned yourself as to, well, why am I really doing this? What's really going on? What does this mean? What is it connected to? Like, I don't know if you've had those conversations with yourself or not. And so it may feel, awkward for me to be asking you to
right.
go
No,
deeper and to have you.
no, it's not awkward. Um, I be really having to sit there and think because I don't like it. Be like you talking about go deep. I don't know what you want me to say to you. Like like I told you everything.
So let me present this to you. If the decision was you have to take everybody else off your phone plan, and either it's just you or you're going to take on her and it's just the two of you, like, what feelings come up for you when you just think about gotta cut them off?
All right.
What?
Because I'll be like,
You don't want to know. Just, I
no, you
mean,
be losing me, man. You be trying to get me to go an extra level. Like there is no extra level to go.
okay.
I tell you everything.
You don't.
What? Well, See, look, talking about I don't take everything. How you figure I don't take everything?
I mean, you can tell her the issue that literally just happened last week, right before the session. How you played in my face again.
You worrying about other things like that.
Exactly. It's something small to you, but it's not small to me.
All right, so right, my my AirPods, right. I lost them, so I had to get some new ones. But I didn't want to tell her that because she get the I ain't losing this that. So me me being me, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy them and then I'm gonna lie and say that I found them already. She done figured out that I bought them. I don't know how she do what she do. She done figured out that I went and bought them. Man, listen, right? I don't know how she do it. I don't know kind of magic she got going on, kind of voodoo she got or whatever. She figured out that I did it, and then it blew up right there. So I had to tell the truth that I actually went and bought some new ones.
No, I'm laughing because, okay, yes, I found out
I don't know how.
because we've had like so many AirPods, right? And I went to go connect them to my phone, like to test them out before the session. Um, no, I had an old pair of headphones in here. It was the wires. I know that he hates wires and he goes to work. He moves around a lot. He called me while he was at work and was like, "Oh, we're in the middle of the conversation," and then he goes, "Oh, I don't even know how to work these headphones. How were you talking to me this whole entire time?" And he said you just got off a previous phone call and then you were listening to music. How did you listen to all of that if you now have to plug the headphones in? That was lie number one. Exactly. So I'm laughing in my head. I'm just like, okay. When I asked him again, like, you know what, were you able to find them? Blah, blah, blah. So he like, no. I'm like, okay. I brushed it off. Then the session came around. So I'm like 5 minutes before I always test the headphones. Well, normally except for today, but I tested them out and it was telling me that I had to reconnect them. And I'm like, why would I have to reconnect them? Like, that's dumb. So now it says the number, like AirPods number 3. I said, I have number 3 on my phone already, so why would it be number 3 twice? So me being me, I pressed the little information button. There's 3 sets of headphones and they all have different serial numbers with expiration dates. Why? So now I'm like, okay, not gonna say anything. No, before I even saw that, he walks to the door. He's like, oh, let me see if I can find them. I said, okay, because we can't use the wires for the session.
Wow.
I said, we can't use the wires for the session. So, you need to find them. He goes, okay, let me check again. Looking around. We're looking in the couch. I'm looking in the bed. He goes to the door next to where we have all the shoes. And he like, come here. So I'm like, what? I'm laughing before I even get to the door because I know him so well. He goes, not to mention the brand new boxes inside the back seat of the car. That's another thing too.
Yo, that's the old box.
Whatever.
See, look.
It doesn't matter.
Look, see?
It doesn't matter. He goes, oh, look what I just found. The sneakers that he wears every day to work, now all of a sudden the AirPods are magically just in his shoe. Really?
I don't even wear them to work
so
no more.
I'm like, oh, how they get in your shoe? That's crazy.
I don't even know how they got there.
I don't know. I thought you checked that section already the other day when we were looking for them. So why are they randomly in your shoe now? 10 times out of 10, I knew he was going to blame my daughter. And I just laughed. I'm just like, you really are something different. Like,
listen. Let's talk about how many AirPods you had.
Okay, we're not going back to
exactly. But it's just like little things like that. Like, he lies about the smallest things.
So,
like, why are you scared of me? Then that makes me not want to just say anything at all because you're telling me I'm not telling you because you would have went off. Okay, so now I'm not going to say anything about anything anymore. And I'm just going to wait and let it slowly build up and up and up and up. And then something so simple as leaving a sock on the floor, now I'm going to blow up and it's going to bring up everything that just happened within the past month. And now you're looking at me like something is wrong.
See, you don't have to do that.
I do. because you
Okay,
keep telling me to suppress it. You don't want to hear it.
that's not healthy and it's not necessary. So, what would help you to be more honest with her?
That she be more under understanding. I see things happen. AirPods, you lost whatever. All right, cool, whatever. It's like it's like things happen. Just be more, just be more understanding about it instead of ready to go off on it. Like, oh no, you losing this, that you buy another one. That you're like, oh, all right, I know things happen. They, you lost, you can't do nothing about that.
Okay, I hear you, but my first reaction is that feels like more of your childhood pattern of let's not deal with the emotions. Let's just,
Right.
we fixed the problem, so there's no need for anybody to be emotional about anything because I fixed the problem.
Yeah,
So I think what we need to work on, because you've never had to do this growing up, I don't think you have enough coping skills to do it now. And so I think you need some coping skills in how do you help yourself while she's having an emotional reaction, because people are allowed to have emotional reactions. At some point in time, I do hope people are able to exert enough self control that they turn that reaction into a response, which means, a reaction is, what's the word I'm looking for? It's automatic. It's something that's not thought through. It has no identifiable goal. It's just this happens, boom, that happens. That's a reaction. Versus a response is you recognize that you have a reaction, you calm yourself down, and then you walk through the response of how you want to deal with the situation and you have an end goal in mind. So, those are the differences between a reaction and a response. It's not about taking away anybody else's reaction, but it's also being able to help yourself so that you can accept that it's okay for that person to have emotions. It's okay to for them to be in whatever space that they're in. It's not saying anything negative about you, and that you feel capable of handling yourself and handling the situation. So
yeah,
I
I
guess what
get
I'm
it.
go ahead.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
Okay. So as far as coping skills are concerned, top of the list is always going to be breathing. If you can control your breathing, you can control just about everything else going on in your body. Okay. But a lot of times, people, when they're in that kind of panic state, it's really, really difficult for them to control their breathing. So it's something I want you to try and see how you feel about it. If you feel like, oh no, I'm pretty comfortable with this, then awesome. So, what that would look like is before you have to tell her something that she's going to have an emotional response to, I first want you to breathe. And what that means is you take as much time as you can to inhale and you take as much time as you can to exhale, because it's on the exhale that your heart rate actually goes down. Your body actually starts to relax with the exhale. Okay. So just take a couple of deep breaths to help calm yourself down. You tell her what you need to tell her. While she's having her emotional reaction to it, just breathe. Stay focused on breathing. It's not your responsibility to change her emotional reaction. She's allowed to have it. Just breathe. And when she's done, then you can ask, what do you need from me?
Uh, Morning.
Okay. So that's what I want you to try. And then next time, well, if you had an opportunity to use it next time, then let me know how you felt about it. If you felt good about it, then you can keep doing it. If it wasn't comfortable for you, then we'll explore the next one.
All right, I got you.
Sorry, I'm just writing.
It's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have a few more minutes left in this session. So I wanted to throw some things at you in regards to atone. And if you guys have an opportunity to work on it over the next week, awesome. If you don't, then we'll revisit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So when it comes to the atone, attune, attach, um, the last piece, the attach part, is often in regards to physical intimacy within the relationship. You guys aren't having that problem. At least that's not what you've shared with me.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
So I really want to focus on the atone and attune pieces in relation to the betrayals that have happened. So the questions I want you to ask yourselves, one is, what was the behavior that you engaged in that caused your partner to feel betrayed? Okay. The second part of that is, how did that betrayal make your partner feel? Once you guys get those answers to those two questions, I want you to share it with each other. Here's what I did. This is how I think it made you feel when I did these things. If the person doesn't have it accurate, okay, you got this part, but you missed that part, then I want you guys to be honest and open with each other. Like, yeah, I felt that way, but I also felt this and this and this too.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to connect it to specific behaviors, yes, I felt this way when you did that, but then I felt this way when you did this other thing.
All right.
The idea behind this is for both of you to fully and completely understand how those behaviors affected your partner. Okay? Oftentimes it's hard for people to move away from those acts and those feelings of betrayal until they feel like the other person 100% understands their experience. Okay?
All right.
It's not a competition.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's feelings are more important or more significant. This is just about understanding.
Okay.
Understanding.
Yes, I'm understanding.
Understanding.
Okay, Jaquan.
All right. So, any other questions for me right now?
No. Any questions?
No, I don't got no other question. Um. Oh yeah, she don't want to give me the address, right? Right, or where she going this on weekend because she think that I'm gonna do something.
Oh God. Yeah, you play too many games for me, and
She
you
gonna
know
know
it.
her on her little bachelorette trip, right? But she do not want to give me the address because she think I'm gonna send some mail on strippers there to her.
because he play entirely too much, and I've always said that's the one thing I just despise so bad. Like, don't ever do that. I told the girls that. I told him that, and it's like he'll keep asking for the address and he keep laughing. So no, you can't get it.
Well, that's crazy, right? I can't get the address.
So let me ask this. Like, what is your reason for asking for the address?
Exactly. Exactly. That's the response I get.
Chill. I'm gonna send her something nice, a gift.
So I will suggest this. If it's just a gift, have it waiting for her when she comes back.
Hmm.
Alright,
Yeah, exactly.
it's crazy.
Whatever, boy. Whatever.
All right. Well, once again, I hope you enjoy your trip. Have fun. Go be a grown up.
Yes. We're grown up. Woo!
Finally, you get some time.
Yes. So, and I will see you guys again next week.
All
All
right,
right, thank
then.
you.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
All
All
right,
right, bye.
bye.
Thanks for having tuned in to another episode of What Would Helen Say, where therapy time is anytime. As you noticed, we didn't get into the meta emotions this week, but we did get to some great content in regards to being present in your relationship, owning, what's going on with you and how that's showing up in your relationship. Um, I hope you'll come back next time as we get back on track with exploring meta emotions and we check in on the male partner to see how he's doing with coping with his own emotions. Once again, if you like my work and you would like to support me, or if you're interested in gaining premium access to upcoming sessions and detailed notes about the interventions that are used and how you can apply them to your own life, please click on the Patreon link below for more information. Thank you.